Hello. Um, so today what I've done is I have gotten to a point where my quadrocopter is almost functional. I have a 7.4 volt LiPo battery that I plugged into a 5 volt, you can't see really anyway, but into a 5 volt regulator circuit using just a pretty cheap, it's called an LM7805 chip, and it looks kind of like one of the larger transistors. It's got 3 leads or whatever, and that takes it down from the 7.5 volts to, 7.4 volts to 5 volts from this LiPo battery, and then that goes, I have 2 capacitors on each side of the LM7805. One is a 0.33 microfarad electrolytic capacitor, and then the other one on the end side is a 104 ceramic capacitor, so after that I take the the 5 regulated voltage into 4 transistors. 3 of them right now are tip 120s, and the other one is some other random silicon transistor, because those were all the tip 120s I had. So the last one, I don't know, I might have problems with the one of the 4 helicopters, because it's going through a different transistor, which might have different different leakage or whatever from the collector to the emitter. So anyway, I connected up an IOIOMint board here as the controller, and I programmed an Android application, which I will publish right after this, called Isomer IOIO Tester, that will allow you to basically turn on and test the system, the board LED, the status LED, and then pins 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm not using pin 1 because for some reason on the IOIOMint it's connected to the battery for testing or something. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't have a normal digital input output. So yeah, pins 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So what for the application here, probably can't see it. It normally doesn't work using this camera with the glare. Anyway, there's 4 buttons on here, and I have them configured to turn on the IOIOMint remotely over Bluetooth, over the Bluetooth dongle that's connected to the IOIOMint, or which is pronounced yo-yo normally, so it's a IOIOMint. But anyway, the IOIOMint weighs a lot less than Raspberry Pi, and also probably less than an Arduino board, unless you're using an Arduino breadboard, in which case that'd be less. So anyway, I also have the helicopters I'm using are 4, what are they? Are like $15 helicopters you buy at the cheap stores you see in the airport or something, and I ripped them apart and just connected both leads, and both motors are in parallel for each helicopter. And I'm not using any resistors or diodes right now on the transistors, so I could get some back EMF, to screw up the board. I'm not really worried about it from these motors. So anyway, I'll show you. You can see, if you look in the little box on the little tiny box on the left. Right now, I am toggling. If you look in this box, you can see it. This little tiny box, you can see I'm toggling the LED using my phone. So click, so it's on, it's off, on, off, on, off. Okay, now I'll show you some helicopters. So helicopter 1, or pin 2, that's the back one. Pin 3, I have going to the right helicopter, and then pin 4, which should be this front one. And pin 5 is this one over here on the left. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to try to turn on one for a little bit and see if it heats up first. So let me turn on the front one here. So it doesn't feel like it's heating up. So that's good at 5 volts. I think these are normally 3.7 volt motors. So I don't know. I should probably regulate it down further, but I don't know. I'm not right now. And also, rather than the LM7805 regulator, which wastes a lot of energy through heat, I'm going to switch to a UBEC, which is UBEC, which is also called a buck converter sometimes, and that uses the energy more efficiently. I think it uses induction. I'm not entirely sure. So anyway, I'm going to try turning on 2 helicopters for now. So it seems like when 2 of them are on, of course, they don't have as much power. Right. Alright, just let me try all 4 and see what happens. So, when I turn all 4 of them on, the circuit slows down. Okay? The circuit is slowing down. So what does that mean? That means that there is resistance. Ow! Okay, and now the LM780, whatever it is hot. I'm going to clip on a heat sink for the time being so it doesn't blow up on me. Let's see. Do this. On a heat sink. Okay, so it could be that this LM805 is heating up for the voltage regulation, which is why it's getting less voltage when I turn all 4 of them on. It could also be that the internal resistance of the battery is not able to handle the current draw for all 4 helicopters. So if it's the second case with the battery, then that would mean I would need to maybe get 4 separate batteries and plug those into the circuit. If it's hopefully just the LM7805 and that putting too much current through that is what's causing the issue, then hopefully the UBEC or buck converter that I'm getting tomorrow will help with that. Or, yeah, I don't know. It's probably that. I mean, I can test it now and find out. I mean, if it works better now that I have the heatsink on, then it's probably just the 5 volt regulator circuit. motors aren't heating up. Before I had a problem where after a little bit the motors would slow down because the motors themselves actually heat up. Now, this isn't heating up as much. I'm going to try with just 2 here. I'm going to try 3 and 4. Okay, one by, let me try one by itself for a minute. See what happens. Okay. So the 5 volt regulator